Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Nicole from Gen 20. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with ZipRecruiter, and I'm so excited to share this platform with you as we'll be covering 5 tips to pivot your career in 2021. So I think it's safe to say that this past year led to a lot of us reconsidering our career paths, myself included. Unfortunately, many people were laid off during the pandemic, which leads to a lot of career pivoting. And the good news is that ZipRecruiter reports seeing hiring return to pre-pandemic levels, which is great news for those of us trying to find new careers. So here are 5 tips for pivoting your career this year. So tip number 1 is to use ZipRecruiter. Now, ZipRecruiter is an awesome platform both for companies who are hiring and for job seekers. It's the #1 rated job seeker app and also available on desktop that uses smart matching technology to identify qualified candidates. They use data from millions of users to constantly refine their algorithms, which makes for better matches for companies and for candidates. ZipRecruiter also makes the job searching process so much easier for people looking for jobs every month. You can search for a specific job title or just a general keyword in a specific location, and it will show you all the job listings with that title or the keyword in it. So you can search for a specific job title or a general keyword in any given location. And I think what's really cool is that they also show you how many people have applied for a specific position, and they also let you message the job poster directly. It's completely free to create an account, and they have over 9 million listings. And I personally think the one thing that makes ZipRecruiter really unique is that you can apply to any job listing with just 1 click. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you can send a message to the job poster letting them know you submitted your application. It's also really unique that they keep you up to date on what's happening with your application, so you're not constantly wondering if your application has just fallen into the abyss, never to be heard from again, but you can see if it's pending, under review, if they've contacted you, things like that. So I'll leave the link to their website in the description below, and also the link for the app so you can stay updated on job postings wherever you are. So my second tip is to refresh your resume with in-demand skills and numbers. So you want the in-demand skills to be skills that employers are looking for right now and numbers that really reflect your past job performance. Do you keep your resume up to date? Be honest. I know most of us probably don't. So I suggest keeping a running list of the things that you're accomplishing and the numbers that go along with those things so you can easily pull from them when you do need to rely on that data. Another good tip that I've learned over the years is to ask your colleagues and your boss for feedback on your performance so that you can also include those things in there, because sometimes what's important to us as workers isn't the same as what's important to our boss or colleagues. So it's really good to have those different perspectives thrown in. So when you are applying for jobs, you can add those in as well. So one way to find out what matters to hiring managers is you can look at different job listings. So let's look at this example. With ZipRecruiter, you can really see what matters in their job listings. So the specific example includes must-have experience in news, feature, and business writing. So everything else in there is a little bit of jargon and skills that I think most people looking for these positions would have. To really stand out for this application, those are the things that you want to feature if you have that experience. And if you have numbers to include here as well, that's a great place to really strengthen your application. So maybe you've worked in news for 3 years and have worked on pieces that regularly reach 100,000 people plus. Include that. Those specific numbers will really help your application stand out. So other specific listings might have software they want you to know. So let's look at another example. This role lists very specific software they want you to be able to use. If you're not familiar with it, this is your chance to actually learn how to use it and make yourself a strong candidate for these types of roles. So tip number 3 is to look at what other people with your job experience are doing and what roles ahead of you are doing. Where do you want to be in 5 or 6 years? Go look at those job listings and see what skills and software they're talking about right now. Knowing those things will make you a stronger candidate when it comes time to be promoted or to apply for those higher positions. So I think one good place to start is searching for your current job title and see what comes up. Of course, don't directly copy anything that you see. Use that as inspiration for what a manager will be looking for someone they're hiring. ZipRecruiter also has a section of their website that lets you search for salaries, and it shows you both local and nationwide data. And I think it's excellent to use that as a starting point for negotiating a higher salary. And in that same section of the website, you'll also find a section labeled Career Path that shares more information about specific job titles, including a list of duties and responsibilities, both of which are a fabulous place to find insider info on how to strengthen your resume and your application. There's a section here called Resume Keywords where ZipRecruiter has pulled out the most notable resume keywords for different job titles. So here are just different top skills mentioned in job descriptions and top skills mentioned in resumes. So tip number 4 is, of course, to stay in touch with your network. So your network, whether you're job searching or not, is one of your most valuable assets. So many of our connections know people who know people who know people who can help us on our way, just like we can help other people too. Have you ever heard of the 6 degrees of separation? It's a networking concept that most people are 6 connections or fewer away from each other. So that means you might be only just a few introductions away from your dream job. How crazy is that? And think of how you can use this as an opportunity to help other people too. Opportunities that might not be a good fit for you could be a great fit for someone that you know or someone else in your network. So you don't need to be in touch with people you know every single day. I think just having a few touch points every now and then is perfectly acceptable. An email or even a call every now and then can be just a great way to really strengthen these weak ties and keep people top of mind. And tip number 5 is to keep your online presence up to date. We're in a very virtual, remote world right now, which has a lot of pros and a lot of cons. One big pro is that more people can find you more easily. And since we're working online a lot, that means your digital presence can be a huge asset to you. If you don't have a website, starting one is a pretty simple process. A WordPress or a Squarespace site will do the trick just to host your portfolio, what you're working on, industry news, your social media, platforms, etc. My big one tip here is just to make sure that your domain name is just yourname.com, not yourname.wordpress.com. It just looks more professional and clean. And since we're seeing more names and more people online, keeping your social media and your website up to date can be a huge asset because it lets people know that you're actively involved in your industry. And it can be a really effective way to highlight your skills and your projects that you're currently working on or things you've worked on in the past, and a great way to connect with other people in your field over those topics. And it's also a great way to show your personality. People like working with people that they like, so it's a great way to show that you have a positive attitude and are consistent and reliable. You can also use this as a way to network with other people in your field as well. Whether it's on Twitter or LinkedIn, you can comment on other people's relevant posts and successes, and don't underestimate your digital network and presence. So there we have it, 5 tips to help you pivot your career in 2021. Let me know which tip was most useful to you, and I'll leave the ZipRecruiter link in the description box below. I highly recommend signing up and using their platform for your job search. There's a wealth of information on there and it's free to use. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!